Hello everyone, we're going to be covering Bughouse World Championship in the open section. The match is going to be Chewy and Marvel versus Zarkov and dushezzz. And they should be starting any time here. Let me see if we can get any co-commentators. So Chewy's team has been warming up. They've been waiting for Zarkov, I believe. Earlier this morning, the Zarkov was ready, but Chewy's partner was not yet awake. So now they're all four ready to go. So should start any time here. Let me make sure I'm watching the right people. Oh, it looks like Zarkov team may be warming up. Okay, yeah. So this is not the four people that's playing, but we have the Zarkov team right here. Who's warming up this game. Nice mate by the Zarkov team. So I should be following Chewy. I will also check the listing of games to make sure we're not missing anything. Here we go. This is in the group stage of the open section. I'm not sure if either of these teams are the number one seed. I think the Chewy Candy and Marvel team is higher ranked. I'm not sure if they're the number one seed or number one seed. Oh, we have Cabbage in the chat here. How are you doing, Cabbage?
Hello, I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing fine. So do you have that information for us? Is Chewy's team, are they the number one seed or number two seed in their group?
Oh, yes, I happen to have that information. They're actually the number 2 seed, and they're facing off against the number 4 seed in their group.
And who's the number one seed in their group?
The number 1 seed in their group is you might recognize their names, Katask and Jeffrey X.
Oh, that's a tough group right there. So this match really matters because two teams are moving forward, and we would expect the Katask and Jeffrey team to progress pretty easily, but the number 2 team is going to be a real battle.
Yeah, and currently it looks like they're giving them a run for their money because
I mean this was mate for
wow, they just got mated.
So early lead from Zarkov and dushezzz. Zarkov is supposedly from Mexico, and dushezzz from Estonia.
So this seems like a fairly good time zone for all four players. I think it's around night in Europe and around afternoon in the US.
Yep.
Also, that last one just shows how strong these group stages are, because in last year, if you had a 4th seed face against a 2nd seed, the expected score in like 90% of matches was 8-0, or just a complete sweep of the games. But here, the lower seeds are actually fighting back.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it looks like this game's a lot more in the favor of Chewy and Marvel. Both sides have pretty safe kings. One of them's on e8 and one of them's on g1 behind 3 pawns.
Yeah, and they are both on the attack as well.
Yeah, and they're not short on material. I think the material is roughly even, which is really good because usually if you're on the attack, that means you've invested some amount of pieces or pawns into trying to get the king open. But if you can do it without those things, then it's really good.
Absolutely. Zarkov doing pretty good job defending and counterattacking.
Yeah. And bishop on g6 is a strong move. It defends both h7 and f7.
Dushezzz in some trouble though. I mean, we're gonna take this rook. A3 is covered by the bishop.
So, yeah, and he got the additional bishop.
So that is mate.
All right, and now both teams are on the board. We see some interesting openings, like, for example, allowing the capture of both knights on f6 and c3 on Marvel's side.
Indeed. A lot of Bughouse players like sacking the knight to give themselves a pawn structure with a pawn on f3, which they think leaves them in a very well-defended position.
Yeah, I can really see this on Marvel's board because he has pawns on f6 and c6, and that really makes his king on e8 shielded. That really shields his king from a lot of possible attacks.
So a rook mates Chewy, but they are up time, so a rook is never going to come. Probably also looking at something like knight at b2, in which case a bishop for a3 would be helpful. Okay, he's just going to guard the rook. That makes sense.
Oh, this is not a good. Yeah.
Knight check.
Oh, and now there's an intermediate move, pawn on e7, which is really strong.
Definitely going to be a mate here, and just bishop check. Oh, that wasn't the bishop check I thought, but it's a very good bishop check.
Yeah, and it looks like the king is pretty out in the open here. Okay, and
exactly, with an infinite supply of pieces and the king out in the open, checkmate was just inevitably going to happen.
Yep. All right, and now to counterattack those being attacked all game, dushezzz, I assume that's how you pronounce it, decides to sack on f7 early. At least that gets him some play. Sharkov is facing some pressure on the dark squares with the two bishops lined up.
Indeed. Chewy loves the sack, and he's already got in there. In contrast,
Chewy's defending well.
Yeah, Zarkov is defending well, but Chewy's king is also very safe. So this is going to be all about piece flow.
Bishop takes f6. I do not like that. That leaves the knight hanging on g4.
Right. So Chewy is now up a piece after all that attacking.
Yep. Oh, he gives Charkov a window to sack on f2, though, if that does anything.
Indeed.
We will see.
Maybe like knight f6 to attack the queen, give the king more escape square. Zarkov, I guess, probably wants a knight so he could pawn check on one side, knight on the other. They're down way too much time though. 30 seconds.
Oh, they are both sitting. Or did they disconnect? Oh.
Or maybe he's trying to figure out if the rook mates and his partner can sack a queen, but no, it does not.
In the chat, it looks like the ping of dushezzz is. Oh, do you want to guess what his ping is?
Based on him not moving, I'm gonna guess 5,000.
Oh, you're actually really close. His ping when I checked was 4265.
Okay.
Which is in Bughouse, in a situation where time actually matters, it's pretty much a loss.
That's equivalent to like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not looking back in the free internet chess server, there's a guy named Trumpet X, and he was known for having a very bad connection. I'm sure his connection is much better at this point, but when people would bother him about his connection, he would just try to defend it. So one of his famous quotes was, "And 5,000 is a bad ping? I don't think so," or something like that.
Well, it's pretty applicable here.
Right.
Wow, I thought Trumpet X was from a place where they would have good ping ordinarily, but okay, I guess not.
Well, yes, but this was much earlier in the birth of the internet, I guess.
I see. That makes sense. Okay, and we have a new game. It looks like Marvel's allows this fork, but the king's actually pretty safe on A1, F1 if the knight goes over to A1, where it's
Right,
far away from the king.
and a rook for a knight is a fairly even trade. The bishop could always take back the knight, but
This bishop on
instead
F6.
choosing to attack.
Yeah, and now that he has this queen in hand, it becomes a lot easier to try to mate. For example, rook h5 is mate. Oh, yeah, and it happened.
And that example has come to fruition. How are you doing, GM BMW? Thank you for watching.
Yes, welcome to the stream, GM BMW. It was nice to have some Grandmaster spectators of Bughouse. Alright, so new game, new type of position. It looks like it's a lot more quiet compared to the previous positions. There's no early sacrifices on either board.
It is. Our current score is 4-1, favoring Chewy and Marvel. So maybe they figure they don't need to take as many risks.
Yeah,
to get the result.
This seems to favor. I think this seems to favor.
This is an interesting move. If we see a pawn or bishop on f7, we could see a discovered attack.
Oh yeah, true. Even a knight on f7 sometime in some cases could be good.
Right, that's a good idea. He has a knight in hand already.
Although he would need a second knight to follow it up, so it could be better to make sure that he gets that second knight first before committing.
They're actually down time, which is a new development. We've never seen Chewy down time in the history of the Earth.
I would have never thought that was possible. And he goes for knight f7, so knight's probably going to take the rook on h8.
Yeah, take the rook, sack the queen. Oh wow. Okay. A little bit surprising. Well, he made it into a queen trade. But honestly, Chewy's king is a little bit exposed. So that's not the way I would have gone after the king.
Yeah,
I would have gone after G2 just because.
Yeah, same. I agree. Or put a knight on f4.
Right.
Because the king on d2, even though it's on d2, it's off of the first rank. It lost its castling rights. It's not easy to attack.
Yeah, all the squares are defended around d2.
Yeah. I always want to make sure that you have a follow-up.
Yeah, we don't want to do like monkey see, monkey check. Oh, check, it must be good.
Yep. Well, this knight on f3 can go to d4.
Oh, going to c3 is interesting. As long as he doesn't have material, which he doesn't right now, that seems like a good square to go to.
Yeah, except when he gets the knight on b5 or knight on e2, then it'll be more annoying. But for now,
yeah, but they are actually up time now. So they've closed the gap.
4 seconds. What's his ping now?
So the question is, will Chewy defend or will he press with something like e6?
That's a good question. e6 can be very scary for the king with a potential d7 follow-up. Okay, so Tsarkov commits, but now the knight on f3, because the pawn is on d4, and the knight on f3 cannot actually enter the game anymore. Except he could have taken the rook on e1, but anyways. They'll probably be flagged. It's really hard to play.
Well, knight d2 looks pretty good though.
Yeah, it did. With an extra knight, that would have been mate.
Actually, I guess the knight guarded the bishop.
Oh, the bishop guarded the knight. Yeah. So if he had an extra knight there, he actually could have gotten checkmate and won the game. And it was hard to get on the other board.
Yep. So our score is now 5-1, favoring Marvel and Chewy. In the open section, it is 1st to 8. Is that correct? With a win by 2 condition.
First to 9 with a win.
Oh, 1st to 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. In the challenger section, it is 1st to 8. And we've seen a lot more challengers games being scheduled and played than open section. This is actually, I think, the first open section match.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't covered much of the challenger section in the group stage, so apologies for that. I would say I'll try to cover more in the future, but I'm also going to be busy next weekend. So I'll try to cover some in the next few days before the weekend.
That's fine. Yeah, we're grateful that you're even willing to cover one match. We're really grateful that you're.
I should have a lot more availability during the elimination phase, and hopefully week 3 of the group phase as well. Okay. Yeah. So time is fairly close. Zarkov would like some more pieces to attack. and looks like Marvel's trying to deprive him of pieces.
For sure. And the knight on f5 does a good job of covering the dark squares and making it hard to continue. Move like bishop at h8, or bishop at g7, interesting.
So what happened there is Marvel eventually moved, but for sure he was communicating with his partner to ask if moving was okay. And they looked at the position and figured out that they were pretty sure Chewy could live with a few trades.
Yeah, that's good communication. I was really worried about rook takes g6, but it looks like they're not going for it. So he's really fixated on this h6 square by putting his knight on g4. But after the queen sacrifices itself for the knight, with keeping in mind that the queen does not really affect Marvel's board as much, then
Chewy now seems very safe because g7 is covered.
Yeah, the bishop on h6 is a very important defender in these sorts of positions. It allows the king to just sit on h8. And now he doesn't even have to take the knight on g7. Oh,
and this queen move was especially good because there wasn't any extra blocker. The rook or bishop would have had to come back. The pawn could not act as a blocker.
Oh, very true. The score is now 6-1 in favor of the higher rated team. Oh, and we see another early sack on f7, and he wins the queen. This is actually really good for Tsarkov. If he puts a pawn on f7, he can even win the rook. Or at the very least, prevent the rook from attacking the queen with tempo. That bishop check.
Zarkov's position looks great, but on the other hand, Marvel is on the attack.
Yeah, and now Tsarkov has a cool idea. He can take the knight with the bishop and then drop a knight on g8 as a fork for some cases. So he first puts the rook on c7 to cut off the king. Now I think, he missed it. Yeah. Oh, knight at c6. That's me. That's very clever.
Okay, that's different idea. We were focused on one idea, but his position, when you have a position so good, there are often several different attacking ideas.
Yep. And as a defender, you have to make sure to get all of them, or bad things can happen. Okay, the score is now 6-2. They are putting up a good fight, I would say, for this sort of rating matchup. Which, by the way, the group stages were created in such a way that the first week would have all the matches between the first and third seeds of the groups and the second and fourth seeds. And starting from week 2, which is the next week, we'll start to see more competitive matches because they'll be between the first and second seeds and the third and fourth seeds. And then week 3, we'll have the really, really close deciding matches to see who makes it out of the group between the second and the third seed in each group.
Absolutely.
So the matches only get more important as the group stage goes on.
So Dutch is still on the attack. I guess knight takes c6. Oh, okay. He's in the bishop. Okay. He's no longer attacking. Marvel is actually up time. Maybe they're waiting for the rook.
He's trying to force
g8.
It doesn't look like it's coming though. So now Tsarkov is almost safe.
Might even sack the queen here for the bishop, and then bishop takes. Oh, okay.
He's not trying to cover the rook though, and the knight's actually hanging. Queen takes e5 wins the. Oh, what is that move?
That's a very weird move.
Interesting. It's an interesting idea for sure, but I don't think it does anything. You can recycle a lot of pieces on e5.
They gotta watch out for draws though.
Oh,
finally sacked that.
He's really going in on the attack here.
I mean, I think he doesn't have anything to replace it. I was saying, okay, now he has a pawn, but I think he's fine because f5 and h5 are covered.
Yeah. Oh, but f6 is not. Oh, he didn't take it though. Oh, and he hangs his queen.
Nice knight move.
Oh, to
Oh,
force the knight.
wow.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting.
Smart
Marvel.
play.
Yeah. Yeah. What often happens for me is I get laser focused on one board, which I think is the interesting board, and then mate suddenly happens on the other one.
Some of the players do that too. It's really. I also missed that. The knight was mating on the other board. Because both boards are super interesting when there's a lot of pieces on the board and a lot of fireworks going on.
For sure. So it sounds like Marvel would like a knight. Marvel has a comment for his partner. He says, "Your white is pretty good. What's up with your black?" So that's.
Oh, thanks for the raid.
Thanks for the raid from Narcissist. Really appreciate it. Let's give him a shout out. 2 different ways. So for Narcissist, we are watching the Bughouse World Championship in the group stage. The current score is 7-2. This is in the open section, and it is the number 2 seed versus the number 4 seed. Chewy is saying in the chat that he sucks at feeding.
We have a bit of banter between the partners.
Yeah.
Healthy conversation, of course. And now with the time reduced, actually, this favors the faster team, which in this case is Chewy and Marvel. So sitting it down, I do not think was the best decision for Sarkov and dushezzz, but we'll see as the game goes on whether time has a impact on the overall game.
This is very difficult to defend, as the queen is going to come in somewhere.
After
he can't even take.
Yep, he's already mated. Okay, and we are at match point. The score is 8-2 between Marvel and Chewy versus Sarkov and dushezzz. So this is potentially the first of 7 match points, but or no, 6 match points. Yes. We'll see if they're able to hold on. Looks like Chewy is trying to attack, and it's working out pretty well. If he gets another knight on g3, he could get a fork with knight at g3, which is instantly covered. But also Marvel's attacking, so...
Yeah, chess.com does weird things, and Marvel has switched to my left board. So
I see.
Confused for a second there.
Oh,
knight
yeah,
mates. Okay, not gonna wait for it.
Knight still mates, but he covered it. Yeah. Rook does not mate. Does it? No.
I don't think Rook quite mates, but Rook is of course very good for Chewy. The knight still does mate.
They're actually up on time though, so Chewy will have to move here.
He will, and Zarkov has a little bit of an attack.
Yeah, I think he should focus more on defense though.
Right. Well, now a knight still mates, just in a different way.
Yeah, I think
he's using the rook.
Okay. So he should take with the bishop here to minimize how open his king is.
I'm kind of looking at weird things like queen takes bishop to deflect the queen, but I guess that doesn't do anything at this point. He had another bishop.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was looking at that too. That did look interesting. Okay, now he blocks with a bishop on f8. I mean, dushezzz should just keep moving here because Chewy doesn't really have anything without a knight, or a rook, and it's really hard to get one. So I don't know what.
Yeah, I assume Chewy's going to pawn check, but okay, now he does have the bishop.
Yeah, but he can't do anything with the bishop.
Yeah. Oh, he's given himself some luft for his king.
Yep, and now it's pretty much over unless they blunder massively, which is not out of the question yet.
It's not. Okay, trying to make the rook mate. He just hangs a queen to get the rook out of there. Wow, that's time pressure.
Yeah, He didn't hang a queen though. He only hung a pawn, so it's sort of a
Oh,
deflection.
I'm
trick.
sorry. That was a pawn.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, but you're fine. They're
bad.
moving so slowly though. You would think in a time scramble they'd move a bit faster.
Yep.
Queen g5. Ah, he missed a mate and won with moving the queen back to g5. Yep, that's the game.
Yeah, hard to find those mates and one in time pressure. And I assume he thought that his queen would be taken by like the knight or something.
Yeah, that's true. That would contribute. That was probably
Chewy is apologizing to his partner for their one loss. Or no, I guess they had two losses.
Yeah, they did have two losses.
Okay, so our final score is 9-2. I will put that in the chat here. 9-2 favoring Chewy and Marvel. Okay, so this was the open section of the first week in the group stage. Thank you so much for the subscription from Blunder Goat at Tier 1. Really appreciate it. I have a lot of fun emotes you can use here and in other chats. So let me find some of the Bughouse ones. King Walk, yes. We get Stack Sit, stuff like that. All right, so congratulations to Chewy and Marvel. Okay, looks like my co-commentator has to go eat lunch.
Oh, how did you know?
I'm a mind reader.
Just kidding. Wow. Yes. I appreciate this being invited to be a part of the commentary team.
Yeah, always love having you in the commentary team. Let's see, are there any other matches on the schedule? I guess I should make a command for the schedule, which I haven't done yet.
Do you want me to link you the team?
Yeah, you could link that again. Maybe.
I dropped it in Discord.
Okay. I should be able to get to it anyway. I linked to it somewhere else if I can find it. Schedule. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make a command for that. We'll do BWC schedule, I guess. Oops, I misspelled that. Okay, so this has both the Bughouse World Championship schedule and also the Crazy House World Championship, and a bunch of other Crazy House events. But in the Bughouse portion, we see this week there have been a lot of games in the Challenger section scheduled. There haven't been games in the Open section scheduled. Let me see. Coming up on Monday, we have Sakuri, Kuzi, and Little Plotkin. That's Raven and Plotkin versus Fumatox and Terra 87. On Wednesday, we have Chicken and Zaizan, otherwise known as Firefly, versus Midnight Fox and BKNM. So as we said before, this match we just looked at was the first one scheduled for the open section. And how many matches total are there in the open section? Is there just one for each group, I guess? So, or no, there's two for each group. So we should see eight open section matches, and I see 2 on the schedule. We just commentated on 1, so we're still missing a bunch. We're missing 5 matches, which have not been scheduled yet.
Yeah, I do know Katask and Jeffrey is currently playing in the U.S. Championship, so he decided to delay his match to after it finishes on the 21st. So that one will not be for a while, but I'm not sure about the status of the other one.
So this particular, in past years, we have, in the group stage, we've asked people to do basically one per week. But this year, we've given them a little more discretion. We've said we recommend one per week, but we said basically that all the matches need to be completed within the 3 weeks. So if they want to wait till the last week to do all of them, we're not going to penalize them for that, basically. It looks like some teams are taking advantage of that fact.
Nice to see some fellow procrastinators around here.
Yes, for sure. Okay. Well, I think I will play a few games in the random pool to entertain the people who came in from that great raid from Narcissist. And after that, we will adjourn for lunch. So do you have to go, or do you want to partner for a few games? Oh, hold on. Chewy and Marvel are playing in the random pool, it looks like. Oh, no, they've...
Yeah.
Oh, that was short-lived. Apparently their opponents were too strong for them, so they have resigned it.
Yeah, there are some strong people in the pool right now. I do have to go, unfortunately, but
Okay.
it was fun commentating, and I may be back in the future.
Okay, yeah, hope to see you in the future. I guess I'm gonna watch this match, commentate a little bit. So it looks like Vector Veld and Hopeful Win are playing against Navvat and ZD Boo. ZD Boo, I think, is Kibo Play-In from the old Free Internet chess server. Hopeful Win is Ken from Fix. All right, well, thank you so much for commentating. Have a good lunch.
Yep, thank you, Chuck. Have a good one.
Bye. All right. So I believe these are random pool teams. I don't think these guys are randomly partnered with each other, and they are all using the chat extensively, so they are not on voice calls. Looks like Vector Veld is well defended enough, and he is attacking. We're going to see Rook in the back. Oh, okay, this is very interesting. So how can he attack? Okay, he's pinning the Rook. What happened? I guess Navpad just resigned there. Oh, here we see Chewy and Marvel playing again. Oh, that's a free bishop. I fall for that sometimes when I'm moving too fast. Been a lot of trades. So the first to attack is going to be the beneficiary of those trades, and Marvel is going to try to be the first to attack. Vector Veld trying to attack first. I assume we're going to take that pawn. Are we worried about Rook takes? This is an interesting way of defending the pawn, also attacking the queen. Now he can't take that because of the discovered mate, so that was a blunder for Marvel. Chewy is saying he can mate with that queen. I'm not so sure he can mate in time. But I guess he's figuring knight in check. And if the king goes over, then it will be mate. He goes this way and just take. So they are up a significant amount of time. Chewy actually probably can mate in that time. So you're figuring knight check, pawn can't take. So it'll have to be new knight check, king over. Pawn takes, knight up. Queen in. So we're going to take this knight. Knight check. Push pawn. King's going to get to here. Queen will go here. Does that mate? King out. I'm sure he's calculating all of this. The other possibility is knight here instead. Okay, he's gonna wait, it looks like, until the queen is just mate in one. I'm not so sure that's the best strategy. Chewy's put in oops in the chat. All navpad has to do is stay safe for a few moves. Maybe rook over. Chewy's saying sit forever. Ooh, navpad is using up all of his pieces though. Oh, that was mate in one. She didn't play. Oh, but this is still mate. And the time was too much. Yeah, 13 seconds was indeed an eternity. So, looks like no rematch here. We can check out Vectorveld in the pool against navpad and ZD navpad was partnered with ZD before, so maybe they are manually partnered. So knight at G1. What? Okay, he's trying to win a... Oh, wait, is that mate? I guess that is pretty close to mate. Bishop in. Queen. Oh, queen here is just mate immediately. But this will work too. So mate in one for navpad. I guess he was in the pool because now navpad is a different partner. He's partnered to hope for win. I think it's Marvel and Chewy. Thanks for the follow from AliMedic67. Really appreciate it. We couldn't take with queen because there'd be the fork. Oh, we still got the queen. Chewy constantly on the attack. And Chewy's king is very safe. Keeping that king safety. He's still on the attack. He's worried about putting the net around the king. Might even sack the queen if he could get a knight. The other team has resigned. So Chewy lost, looks like a pawn, maybe a piece there in the mix, but he is on the attack, so he has some compensation. The rook active, probably going to take this bishop to threaten something here. Oh, I guess the knight's under attack, so I mean, it's a reasonable trade. Okay, pawn now mates. Pawn check, knight check. They're up about a second. Oh, he's using the queen, that's clever. He could even take this way. So if he takes this, then the knight will help cover. So if he expects the pawn to come, then he may just interpose instead. Oh, actually, a queen mates his partner. So he has to sit. Chewy says that his opponent is not terrible. He wonders who he is. Great question. This looks like a dupe. Let me go ahead and block him. There's mate for Chewy. Tuned in for the Chewy candy. Yeah, so Mauritius, their BWC match is actually already over. They won it by a score of 9-2. However, we're still watching them in the random pool. Thundergoat, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Mauritius. Mauritius, you could watch the VOD if you'd like, but we still have some fun matches here, or first some fun games here anyway. Exploiting this pin. Trying to get everything active. So knight would be good for Anya. Shui now has a maiden attack, it looks like. Mark in his mate. Or he could hang his queen. That's another option. So this is still mates. Yes, you do have sus. Which apparently is Chess Doofus's favorite emote. I could have picked any color for sus, but at the time I put that emote in, we had a certain president that some people didn't like. So he's going to trade the rook for the queen. He is. Marvel is actually not so much on the attack. Now he's trying to make an attack. And Michael has improved significantly. Michael's now in the 2300s on the regular. So queen mates. He's just going to use the two knights. Just that king out. So he's got to do something about this queen here. He could put something in the way. Okay. So he would like rook to take here because that's just mate. This king. Okay, rook now mates with the smothered mate. And his partner is trying to force a rook. Marvel up time, up 6 seconds, gonna sit. And we see one thing to note for Marvel here is after he's already castled, he pushes his F pawn. That gives the king a little bit luffed. Might allow the rook to get active later. And just blocks off this diagonal. Chewy would like a couple pawns. The time is fairly close though. He may not get them. So he may be losing this queen. What? This is a very odd move. I think that was probably a bit of a pre-move. So maybe we're taking this knight. Is a queen coming? A queen would mate him. Oh, there's a queen trade on offer here. So that's what's going on. And Marvel is up time. So Anya trying to make up a little bit of time. Hard to defend this square. Because the queens, both of these places could be taken. Maybe he puts a new pawn in. If he puts a new pawn in, we could see queen here. King up maybe. Okay, that's would be a good way to defend. Still could see queen in the corner though. Still scary. But that queen trade is not happening as it turns out. Right now there are no blockers, which means this would mate, but they are downtime, so a blocker is going to come. Michael has a pretty good attack. Knight check would win the queen. Anya, if I were Anya, I would just liquidate since the partner's position is so good. But Marvel is going to keep attacking. He doesn't. This knight actually covers. I still like knight check, and there it is. I think you could just take the queen. Ooh. I'm not sure why he did that, because rook check here didn't even work. I would 100% have taken this queen. To just give a free knight and not take the queen just seems odd to me. He's just making life easier for Marvel. And for Chewy. And Anya is running out of pieces. Here, Anya would have quite a good position if he had this queen in hand. Okay, so Michael trying to attack. It looks like he has mate actually, so this decision worked out for him. Pawn check, rook takes. So now Chewy needs to win at chess. So I'm assuming these pawns are going to run. We're going to see a lot of free moves from Chewy and probably a promotion. Oh, I didn't even notice the queen could get in. So that was just mate in one. And a rare loss for the Chewy Marvel team. Looks like Michael would like to keep playing. Michael's saying he wants to partner Jarl. I don't know whether that means Anya is Jarl or he's going to partner someone else. So we will find out pretty soon. Marvel says he has to go soon. Marvel suggesting 1-minute games instead of 3-minute games. Yeah, Marie Chess. Unfortunately, that's true. A lot of people in Bughouse have alts, which are not allowed. Oh, okay. So they say Anya is not Jarl. Jarl's Metaphysicles, so they should be playing soon. Marvel's trying to negotiate 1-minute games. Yeah, Marie Chess on chess.com. Well, for a long, long time, up until about 6 months ago, people were only allowed one account, except for titled players, who were allowed 2 accounts if they told chess.com about them. They recently changed their policy about 6 months ago. They said people are allowed more than one account as long as they declare them and get them authorized. And when chess.com knows about the accounts, then they can prevent rating manipulation, so playing against each other, things like that. But most Bughouse players, their accounts are not authorized. Oh, I'm sorry, let me fix the layout. Chewy has hung a bishop due to his pre-moving ways. So they're not playing against the Jarl Michael team. They're playing against Hopeful Win, who's Ken from Fix, and ZD Boo, who is Cubo playing from Fix. So this file is great for ZD Poo. So king couldn't have gone here because of the knight check threat. Here we could just promote. Yeah, and he's just gonna grab that extra queen. So do we take that? No, that's a good way of doing it. Keep the bishop in the game, vacated a square for a knight. Oh, or we can get the rook in the game, also good. So we could have won a bishop, but he would prefer mate. ZD Poo has an amazing attack here. His king is also very safe. So even if something interposed, we can sack here to get the king out. We can push the pawn potentially. Knight takes queen. He's just eaten a lot of pieces. This is a fake queen, so he's taking the rook with the fake queen. Not even giving him the bishop. He's taking a free pawn while attacking. He could take a free rook, which he's done. Look at all the extra pieces Hopeful Win has. I would sack. I'd trade these queens. I shouldn't call it a sack. Trade the queens and start attacking. Although he would like a knight to attack. And there's that knight. So every move from now to the rest of the game ought to be check for Hopeful Win. Bishop here is probably a good way to prevent the king from taking the knight. Draw the king back. Bishop at f2. Okay. Well, that mates as well. And that game was mostly the result of the other board. Marvel hung all of his pieces while being attacked. Hey, Medquick. Is Lichess similar? Lichess is different. Lichess doesn't seem to care about all the counts. On chess.com, their explicit policies say no alt accounts. Chess.com doesn't go out and hunt for alt accounts, but if they happen upon an alt account, then they will ban all of your accounts. So Marvel says, tell me if ops. Well, we could check out Michael and Metaphysicles, which is Jarl Carlander. They're playing in the pool. And these two accounts down here, we don't know who they are, but for sure they are alts of someone. So Org Chess. Knights would be very good for him. Could just pawn check to draw the king out more while he waits. They are up time. But he'd prefer a knight to that. The problem is pawn check, king back, and then a knight is useless. You'd really need queens or rooks. He's going to wait for a knight because then two knights could potentially mate. Oh, okay, he's drawing it out. Knight is still great. They're up 2 seconds, but I'm not even sure what knight can be taken. Oh, that's a clever move. If queen takes, we can take this knight. So Metaphysicles winning pieces on his board. So these knight squares have been guarded now. And 101 Michael for sure going to mate. Pawn check is mate. So Chewy has already hung a pawn. I think you take this first. Okay, never mind. They forced the queen trade, which I don't think really matters for the other board at this point. Not decisive. But Orkly chess trying to get an attack here. Queen mates for him. Queen's not going to come, of course. Pawn check. Pawn check here, then knight check was quite good. I would take this pawn, then pawn check, something like that. This is a mate threat, by the way. This is not a defensive move only. This is an attacking move. So knight mates for Dark Shrine. Oh, I guess Chewy has changed partners. I didn't notice that. Hey, Chess Warriors the Pro. Huge rage on Chess Warriors the Pro. Let's give him a shout out. And we'll give him a shout out the other new way. Thank you for the follow from LS Chess. Really appreciate it. So if king takes, we would have had a fork. Pick up the queen. Here, maybe knight at d8 could be interesting to allow the promotion, cut off the rook. But he's probably also worried about his king's safety. So we might even see something like queen out. You could, if he had a pawn in hand, like pawn at g6 could be interesting to just sack a pawn but cut off the queen. Time is fairly close. Hey Chess Ben, how are you doing? So I appreciate the raid from Chess Warriors the Pro. Let's gift you a sub. Orkly Chess on the attack. Picked up, oh, that's mate. Not only was it mate, but they were uptime, so Chewy could not sit. So Chewy's still playing with Dark Shrine. I'm not sure if that was just a rematch or if they are manually partnered at this point. Thanks for the bits from Mad Quick Chess. Really appreciate it. We should give Mad Quick Chess a shout out as well. Life is harder on Internet Explorer, which is what or Edge, whatever you call it. Let me see. Mad Quick Chess. Much harder to copy and paste. So how was your stream? Chess Warriors the Pro. I hope it went well. It looked like you were preparing for a tournament, which I assume is a chess tournament. Over the board tournament coming up. This looks very good for Dark Shrine. Knight can just take that. I mean, his idea is to cut off this place, but oh, never mind. Queen can take. So yeah, this is just a bishop mates. Yeah, I didn't see queen could retake. Hopeful Win says, my bad pre-move. Not sure when the pre-move happened. But somehow he got himself in this bind, so there's a pre-move somewhere. Well, we can check out Michael and Metaphysicles again. Playing against Vectorveld and PD Blue. So Michael seems to have more pieces, but he's the one being attacked. PD Blue seems fairly safe. Oh, this. Why aren't we knight checking? What's going on? Knight check, king up, take rook. Here it goes. That move is so good, they immediately resign. Over the board chess tournament. Okay, good luck on your chess tournament. So for the people from the raid who may not know, what we're watching is Bughouse. I'm going to put the rules in the chat. Bughouse is a chess variant played by 4 players in teams of 2. Whenever you capture a piece, you hand it to your partner, and you can make a normal chess move or take any of the pieces in reserve your partner's handed you. Place one on any empty squares of move, and checkmate or flag on either board ends the game. So this is a good move. We're going after the queen and also putting pressure on these pawns. Chewy seems to have a fairly safe structure though. These rooks are doing a great job guarding everything. Oh, we'll take that for sure. I think we take this one, right? Why didn't we take the free bishop? So Chewy's now with hopeful win, by the way. He's trying to get his pieces more active. This looks pretty good for Chewy. Knight mates. What else does he have here? Pushing the pawn looks interesting, actually. Okay, and they've resigned. So it looks like trade, and queen in is going to mate for hopeful win. Hopeful win is not going to just take the win. Instead, he's criticizing his partner. Hopeful win says, Chewy, you tried to lose that. I don't think Chewy played bad at all. Chewy seemed his king seemed safe the whole way. Hopeful win was annoyed that Chewy was losing pieces. So yeah, I do think Chewy lost a piece here or there, but there were a lot of trades, and trades tend to benefit Hopeful Win in general, as he likes to attack. CD Boo is trying to throw, what do you call it? Trying to throw gas on the fire. There's a saying that Firefly shared with me, which comes from Bridge, but which Bridge is another game I play. It's a card game with 4 players. So the saying comes from Bridge, but it's applicable to Bughouse as well, which is when your opponents are arguing with each other, always agree with the one that's wrong. So here, ZD Boo is doing that. He's seeing Chewy and Hopeful Win argue with each other. So if you just agree with the one who's wrong, then you make the argument go on longer and you tilt them more. Chess Warriors saying hi to Mad Quick Chess. Alright, let's see. Are we missing out on games or watching this argument? Let's watch 111 Michael and Metaphysicles. And he sacked his queen, but it's gonna lead to mate. Very nice mate from 101 Michael. Looks like his partner was mating as well. Let's look at this mate actually. If I feel like there should be mate here somewhere. I'm not sure if I see it. Like I'm looking at like rook queen, but after you interpose, the knight can actually take one of those. I wonder if there's mate here somewhere. I mean, you could also go back to vacate a square and then put a piece in here. But honestly, I'm not sure if there's mate. Does anyone see mate here? So let's assume we throw a queen in here. You could drop a rook to get this rook here. And then what? Maybe they're just not mate. I guess it doesn't always have to be mate. What is that? Oh, there's a faxi mode. All right. Well, let's see who's playing. This is a Chewy team. Oh, this isn't Chewy. Navpad and Eskin versus Dark Shrine and Winsby. Wow, Eskin is full sending it, going for this king. Giving up a queen in the process. Guess we'll see knight check. So knight here is mate, so it's going to work out for him. That's a win for the Eskin team. Okay, well, I think at this point we're going to look for someone to raid. Does anyone have any suggestions? Let's check the chess category. I'm going to check real quick to make sure there's not any matches coming up, but I don't think there are. Chewy is in the pool. It looks like his partner's rated 600. So we'll see how Chewy does with that. Partner's not playing terribly so far. I mean, c4 is not a great move because it creates a light squared weakness. But he's managed not to get attacked. And indeed, if you play something like h3, then he's kind of safe forever. All right. We're looking at the chess category. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. I'm not recognizing many of these people, honestly. I'm not seeing chess variants. Like, if we see some duck chess, we could even raid duck chess. Oh, maybe we could raid Collegiate Chess League. That's a possibility. Looks like we have Joe Bruin doing commentary there. That's probably a good raid. So let's send you guys to Collegiate Chess League. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. We're going to try to stream more of the games in the Bughouse World Championship group stage. There's definitely games on Monday and Wednesday. I don't know if anything will be scheduled for later tonight. Apologies that I haven't covered many of the earlier group stage games earlier today and yesterday. But I'll try to cover more in the next week. Next weekend I'm actually busy, but the weekend after that I should be able to cover a lot of matches. Yeah, 4-player chess. If you see a duck chess stream, let me know. I have a raid going to Collegiate Chess League, but I could always cancel it if we see a variant streamer. No one is live in the variant server. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen you stream in a bit, 4-player chess. I guess you got busy with life. Well, let's give 4-player chess a shout out too. Oops. First, let's fix the layout. 4-player chess. Yeah, so I think we're gonna send you guys off to Collegiate Chess League. They actually ran a Bughouse tournament in Collegiate Chess League a couple months ago, so they are supporters of Bughouse. Have a great night, everyone.